Hello everyone, welcome to Colorful Pages. I hope you all are doing very well. And today I am up with another very beautiful tutorial. Now this time I am painting botanical art. That is, I am making some very beautiful flowers on a neon colored t-shirt. Whatever material I have used and whatever technique is there, I have explained about it very nicely in the tutorial itself. I'm sure you're going to love it. So, without wasting any time, let's get started. Just a few days back, I went to this beautiful store of Zudio and found a lovely fluorescent green t-shirt. And I thought to paint it because this was absolutely plain. I do like solid colors a lot, but at the same time, I also like to paint. Like means tempt to paint on the plain fabrics. So this is the t-shirt. I have opened the neck area of the t-shirt, as you can see right in front of you. And also I have taken out a printout of a design which I wanted to paint on this t-shirt. I took out actually two designs on one A4 size paper. I thought maybe I'll make this, or I'll make this, or I'll make this, or I'll make this. But then I decided that I am going to make this set of flowers on my t-shirt. So I will start doing this in front of you. What do I need for tracing this design onto the t-shirt? A very easy process this is, and this is something which I use. This is a carbon paper, and this one in front of you is yellow carbon paper. You can see I have two actually. So this one is a yellow carbon paper. So this side on which something is written, okay, the number of this carbon paper is 5010. This written area should be upside towards you, and this plain area of the carbon paper should always face the fabric. So what I do, I will keep it aside. First I will set the design where actually I want it to be. I want it to be somewhere here near the neckline. So just touching the neckline and seeing till where my design is going to go. I want to make it slightly in the corner, at the same time not too in the corner, too much in the corner. Okay, so this area I think is appropriate for this design. Now this, you can see there's a nice beautiful sprays here, and this side also, which is half cut, but I will draw it while I am tracing. So just keeping an idea of this petal over here, with this stitching I have understood that this is the perfect position. Maybe a bit more I can go. I'm just trying to evaluate with this stitching line. I don't want to my paint or my design to be over here, just little below this area. So this place seems to be very good for me. I will also use something like this. It's a doctor's tape which you get in the market. Just keep your hand on the design, flip the design, slip the carbon paper inside, as you have seen, like this. Nicely slip it. Okay, let me see till where is the carbon paper. I can slip it a bit more inside. Yes, so the entire design must be covered by the carbon paper below it, like this. And then what you do is take the double-sided tape. Before that I am taking a box to keep here just as a weight, and I'm taking this this doctor's tape, and I am fixing this doctor's tape and the carbon paper underneath like this at few places. Now why I do so? I do this so that while tracing the entire two layer, that is the design and the carbon paper, does not slip, because it's going to then spoil my design, the tracing. Remove the box, keep your hand, one hand like this, and just simply overlap on the design which you are making. You can also check like this whether it is coming or not. Oh my god, it did not come. Why it did not come? Because I have not put a hard bound under the fabric. So like this you must have a hard bound anything, any book, anything, a hard bound something, or a cardboard or an examination board, which you need to slip right under the t-shirt. Under means between the two layers of t-shirt, as I am doing in front of you. So very nicely I am slipping this design, this book over here in between the t-shirt, and I am also checking with my hand whether the location is okay or not. So you can have a big examination board. I had a small book which I used, and then I will trace again and see whether the trace is coming or not. So like this I did this small leaf, and see, now you see the trace came here. Understood? It's a real easy process. Now you can trace anything very easily, absolutely easily on your fabric. The same process of tracing can be done anywhere you want. And these small I am making like this, a very small sprays, absolutely small sprays I am making like this. See, later on while coloring I am going to give details of this. Now turn the carbon paper and see, isn't it clear? The entire design comes out clearly. So let us do this portion very quickly now. I have finished tracing this entire thing on the t-shirt. Let us quickly remove tape from one side, any one side, and check whether our design is perfectly traced or not on the t-shirt. So just flip it and see how nicely it is done. So I am quite very satisfied. Hence I can remove this entire pattern out. Now I'll remove this book also, which I had placed under the t-shirt to make it hard so that my design traces on it easily. And this pattern is now ready to be painted. Now we will be needing something like this. This is called an embroidery hoop. I use it for painting also. You can use both ways. You can use in painting, you can use in embroidery. So there is a screw, nut and screw here. You need to hold this and loosen this. When you are going to lose this, outer layer and inner layer will be separated. So it becomes two pieces. Now this one has this nut and screw here, and this one is the entire round portion. This round portion you are going to put inside one layer, not the other layer, inside one layer of this t-shirt, and you are going to adjust your design in it. So like I have done nicely, you can see the design is being adjusted, and take the other one, the other hoop, the other circle, wooden circle, and press it nicely on the previous circle which is under the layer. So if you see like this, I am showing you, it's the one layer of t-shirt which I have to paint the front side, only I have attached this hoop, and the other is free from it. Now what do you do? There is another issue which you need to take care of, is that when I will paint the layer over here, the flower over here, the paint is bit heavy, so this flower may sink and touch this back side of the t-shirt. So to avoid such situation, what I always do is I like to keep a box inside like this, and make it tilted. See, so this tilted portion is going to, I'll change the box. This box seems to be too big for this. I will use this bottle. Yeah, this seems to be fine, absolutely fine. My design is raised from the platform and it is away from the base, the back side of this t-shirt. Now I want to be extra careful about it. So what I do, I will take this newspaper, and this newspaper I will open the t-shirt like this. This newspaper I will open like this, and I will very nicely slide this newspaper under this t-shirt, both the layer of t-shirt like this, so that, you know, just an extra precaution which I am taking, so that my paint does not spoil the back side of the t-shirt. Now see, the entire t-shirt is here. You can see from this side also I have placed the t-shirt in between the two layers, the front and back of the fabric, and I have placed a box also, a fabric color box like this. I have placed under the hoop to make it slanting. Now what colors I will use? I will be using these Fevikwik colors, soft fabric colors for the painting. Which shades I will be using? I will be using this beautiful deep brilliant purple shade. I will use this extremely pretty orange color, and I will use white for making the flowers. So this flower and these small flowers I will make using these colors. I also will be requiring brush for the same. I have these two kinds of brushes. I am using round brushes. Now this round brush is of 0 number. So you can see round it is called because it has a round tip. And I am using 0 number flat brush also. This is for spreading color. You can see it is called flat because it has a flat tip, you can see, right? So 2 brushes I am using. Other than this, I will use some water to make my color flow easy on the design. I am using this kind of one plastic plate to keep under my color, because this is going to act as a kind of, you know, save my color from getting spilled on the fabric. So like this, I am using one kind of tray. You can use any plate at home, anything which you have available at home. You can use such things for your keeping at the base. And the other color is the white, which I am also ready with. Let's start quickly the painting process. See, when you are painting botanical art or nature or flowers, you must understand few things. One of them is a petal like this. Can you see this petal? Now this kind of petal is folded. So whenever I am doing fold, I try to keep the fold light and the inner portion I try to make it dark. So in this way, the painting process becomes really simple and easy to be done. Let us start with the white color first. I'll start with this outer area, this one. This is also a folded area, and like this. So the entire folded area I have covered, and this is the, you can see the outline I am doing with white very softly and taking care of the edges, that your color should not spill here and there. I have not used water at all till now. I will be using some water later on in between whenever I feel my color is a bit thick. Now for pink, because I will be using less of pink, what I do, I will take the cap of pink. It has less color. It will be easy for me to, you know, load the color on my brush. Less color will be loaded. It will become very convenient. So like this, gently apply the color and keep on mixing as well. This kind of painting is very interesting. Absolutely, it looks beautiful also. At the same time, it's very interesting also. And give the shape of the petal. See, whenever you feel that there is too much of paint on your color on your brush, do not wash. Try to avoid washing. Keep a rough cloth and wipe your brush. See. Try to avoid washing if you will take too much of water in your brush, your color is going to spread badly on the fabric and spoil the artwork which you are doing. Now slowly take less amount of color. Do not take too much color in one go. Take small portions of color and spread it nicely, because the pores of the fabric should be full of color. It should not happen that the pores do not absorb the color and later when you are washing, your color gets spoiled, your painting gets spoiled. So always be careful about the pores of the fabric. So like this, slowly you can see I am adding the depths. So easy and so beautiful it is. Give good amount of time to each petal. There is absolutely no hurry. And blend it, nicely blend it. Wipe. I can feel there is extra color on my brush. I want to blend it, so I will wipe it. And little pink here, very little. See, I'll take a bit of white. And see how beautiful petal. Now what I do, I will leave this petal. Always try to avoid painting the adjacent petals. I will leave this petal, I will leave this petal, and I will straight away jump to this petal over here. So what happens if you will paint, if you are a beginner and you paint adjacent petal, adjacent means petal which are one next to other, what happens that sometimes the color may, it may flow here and there, it may bleed here and there in the other unwanted area. So to avoid such situation, always what is recommended? Paint alternate petals. It is very easy, like I am doing. I am keeping in mind the learners also, the beginners who are trying painting, fabric painting on their t-shirt by their own self. And if you are an advanced learner, you already know how to paint, you can go ahead in painting the adjacent petals also. This recommendation is only for the beginners. Also keep a track that no pores should be left unattended when you are coloring. See, actually wipe the brush, and I'm adding the dark color, the depth. Some more depth I will add in this corner. And wipe, and very softly, absolutely softly, you need to blend it. Don't be hard on your fabric and press. See, when I'm painting, I use the middle portion and the front portion of the bristle. I do not use this joint, that is the root. So avoid painting from the root area, paint from the tip and the middle area. That is another tip which is very useful for the beginners. So by this time, this area is dry, this one. I will now paint this petal. So there was a turn of petal here. I am sure you observed that. See. So this turn of the fold, whatever you want to call, of the petal was there. That is why I am keeping it absolutely white in color. And now I am adding more white as an outline. So very softly you have to go. And spread the white nicely. See that no pore is left unattended. So after spreading, rubbing the white nicely on the fabric so that the color goes in each and every place, I have started adding pink. See, the top petal will cast the shadow on the petal which is underneath. So keep this thing in your mind while you are painting. Keep on spreading the color. Take small amount of color in one time. Again repeating that blending of color is very important. Each and every pore of the fabric should have color, should be full of color. Otherwise later when you are going to wash, you will find that your color is fading away. It's washing away. See how nice petal. Now here also I can see this petal is on top and this folded area is on the base. So I have added little pink in this fold also, and I am like this blending it. Let's quickly start the next petal. And by this time you must have noticed not even once I have washed the brush. I am only wiping the brush continuously with my rough cloth. Now another petal. Now this petal is on the top, so I am keeping it light from the top. See, the larger petal I am painting with the flat brush. When it will come to the fine petals, I am going to use round brush. I am taking pink color and this area, which is a very, very delicate area, like this. So too much of color, hence I have to wipe it and softly blending it, blending the pink into the white, softly, very softly, gently, no hurries at all. And here it goes. A bit of more pink I like to add in this area. See, soft, very soft. Keep your hand kind of feather touch. Don't be hard on the paints and on your brush too. And here it goes. My next petal is also ready. Okay, now another petal. For another petal, I am doing this side petal because this one is very fine. I don't want to touch it right now as it is wet. Yeah, one more thing can be done, that is using a hair dryer. If you are in hurry and you want your entire artwork to get dried soon and you want to paint the other area, another remedy, another way of doing is to use a hair dryer. So you can use a hair dryer always to keep on drying simultaneously your artwork if you are in hurry. So I am not in hurry, I have leisure time. That is why I am painting with peace. See, softly I am blending it also. And this is done. So simple. Only I think I'll add a bit of depth in the corners to make it enhance. See with this little depth how nice this leaf, this petal looks. Wipe the brush, blending it both the ways. Yes, done. Now I want to do one fine petal, which is this one inside. So I will wash this flat brush, keep it aside. I will take my round brush now, and with round brush I am taking white color. This is really very fine petal here. That is why I changed my brush. With round brush, 0 number, it becomes really easy to paint the fine areas. That is always up to you. So this portion done, little here. That's it. Now wipe the brush. I am loading it with pink. And applying colors. So this petal seems to be under the petal on left and right. That is why this petal is kind of compressed in between the other petals. So a bit of depth will be more here. At the same time, due to this fold, beautiful fold of this petal, white color will make it look absolutely beautiful. See, slowly add color. Don't be in hurry of adding a lump of color in one go. You have to be very careful about adding color slowly. So this one is also done. Again, I am wiping the brush. Now let us do this big petal here. This petal has 2 folds, double. That is why, and very fine fold. That is why I have selected again finer brush to paint this, and I am using same brush for this area. This side is also a fold. I am trying to fill all the pores which I can see. Minutely I am observing all the pores here of the fabric. So just be careful about that. Little white I am adding randomly in the center. Now loading the brush with the brilliant purple, and slowly I am moving ahead with the painting of this petal. See, it's a nice fine brush. That is why I am able to take out these pollen grains also. If you have observed that these pollen grains also I am able to take out very easily with the help of this fine brush. So carefully, and then blending it to the white in the center. Gently, carefully, gently, thoroughly. These are few things you need to keep in mind when you are doing this t-shirt painting. Need to be a bit more careful while painting t-shirts because it's stretchable also, no? So later on when you will wear, if it will stretch and the blank pores are visible from the t-shirt, it may look odd. And I'm adding bit of white here just to give it a shine. Light pink, little shine. See, amazingly pretty, amazingly. Bit of pink just to give it a feel of turn, fold. See, little pink. Always check your strokes. Always, always. Strokes are the most important thing when it comes to painting. Observe the shape or the flow of the petal. Mind your strokes and paint accordingly. Now one more petal is there. We'll do this petal now. For this petal, this is the folded area, as you can observe. Folded area, light. Only one thing you need to remember. Folded area, light. Okay. And this is the tip. So I am making it little white light here also. Now I will start with the pink. So first inside this area, I will cover with pink. See how nice shape is there. And then this area. This is the folded area which I am covering with pink. See my stroke, the brush strokes. Yes, it should suit the outer structure of the petal. Always remember, brush stroke should always suit the outer structure of your petal. See how beautiful. Now in this same way we are going to paint this entire flower. Now we are ready to paint this center pollen area. For painting this portion, I am going to use this deep brilliant purple and this ultramarine blue, and I am going to mix them together first in a mixing plate or any rough, like I am using a rough old piece of plastic cover. So like this, you can just mix both these colors together and create a dark shade. This dark shade which is created here will look very, very beautiful. So like this, just mix the color. You can see a nice beautiful shade is there, and we are going to fill this area first with the particular shade. Now here we are going to use superimpose technique of painting. We are going to paint first the base with dark color, and later on with light color we are going to create the pollen. So that is why we are using a dark color base first in the center. So like this, just simply flat filling of color. I am not doing any shading and any kind of tricky thing over here. It's just flat filling of color, and you can use a brush which is convenient to you. My flat brush is very fine, hence I am using this flat brush only. Otherwise you can use a round brush to do this portion. So very quickly you need to fill this area, and you need to leave it to dry for some time. So drying has to be done very nicely. It should be thoroughly nicely dry, and only then you are going to make the pollen. So just leave it like this. See, so this is done nicely. I'll add a bit of more color so that the base is not visible and the fabric absorbs the color nicely. And now I'm going to leave this area for some time to dry. We will not waste any time, and quickly we will start painting these small flowers over here. These 2-3 flowers which you can see on the side, we are going to paint this. For painting these flowers, I will be using this beautiful very, very pretty orange shade which is in front of you, this one, and along with this I will be using white color. So I am keeping this here and I am taking out white shade also. So this white is also ready, and nicely wipe the brush. No excess of water should be there in the brush. I will start with white color first and very gently add color here. Now the technique is again the same, that you need to take care of the top petal and you need to take care of the base petal. So base petal has to be little dark and the top petal has to be little light. So like this, and then gently blend the colors. See, when you are blending the colors, please take care of your brush strokes. It's really important to take care of your brush strokes, which angle, which direction you are moving your brush. Now I am doing the second petal here. See, now this petal was on the top, so I am putting white color over this petal, and from this side this petal is on top, whereas from this side this petal is beneath the other petal, and here also you can see this petal is on the top. So top area I am always painting light, and the area which is under, which is beneath the top petal, I am painting it dark. So it's a very simple golden rule with which you can paint nicely. Slowly applying the orange color. When you are applying the orange color, make sure that the fabric absorbs the color nicely. The pores of the fabric are filled with color. Otherwise, later on when you are going to wash it, the color is going to come out. So be careful, extra careful about filling the pores of the fabric nicely, thoroughly when you are painting fabric painting. So let's finish this quickly. Take small amount of color in one time. Do not use too much of color. It's going to trouble you always. So little amount of color only should be used in one time. So little bit more, because I can see that the pores are not filled with the color properly. Should be assured that the pores are filled with color. Yeah, like this, nicely done. Now I'm taking little white. Keep on wiping your brush again and again. Do not wash it, but at the same time the brush needs to be clean, so you need to wipe. You can see I am holding a rough cloth in my hand and rapidly I am wiping the brush like this with my hand, with the rough cloth. Now that's done. This small petal which is hidden under the big petal, we are going to do that now. Very gently. And now applying the orange to it. Just everything should be done nicely. Just a bit of finishing is required, which will be done in some seconds. Doesn't take a lot of time for finishing. So little white, and then going to blend it nicely in the fabric. And here I feel that there should be a bit of more orange. So I'm adding some more orange in this area. A bit of white. Yes. Now this is done. Let us quickly do the center, the pollen area of this particular flower. For pollen area, I am using now a fine, very fine brush. Now this is number 0 round brush which I am using, and I am taking brown color. This is the dark brown color available in fabric colors which I am using here, and again I am going to just fill this area first with this brown color like this. So it's nicely done. I will use a bit of black here. As you can see, black color, same fabric I'm using, so there is no question of which color is being used. Such kind of things should not be there in the mind, because now every color which I'm using here is fabric color. So little bit on the outer side of this I am using little black, and followed by using little yellow, again fabric yellow, and in the center a few dots kind. So this blending is in dot form. You can wipe the brush again and little more blending. So all the blending which I am doing here is in dotting technique. So you can see I am doing like dots. This flower is done. I will use a bit slight, very slight of red here, because I want to create some depth in this color. So slight red. You can see I am mixing in the palette, mixed with this same orange. So like this, mixed well, and little shading we can do like this. See, some places which is going to make the flower look really awesome now. Just mix nicely the color. Not everywhere, and do not hide the color beneath. So shading has to be done very nicely and softly. By any chance, do not hide the color which is beneath. Wash, wipe the brush thoroughly, use little white, and wherever it is required you can add it. Just to create some more wonders in your orange flower. And quickly you are going to finish this flower also. Just wipe the excess color and blend it nicely. I'm using a bit of orange. And then the depth color. Some more white. Just to enhance the look. Almost done. Just blend the colors nicely. Yes. So we'll finish the other two flowers also with the same process. finally finished painting all these small tiny flowers, and by this time this pollen area of the big flower is also dried. Now let us quickly start painting the pollen grains. For that I will be selecting yellow, orange and white and brown color here. So little shading we are going to do in this, and I am taking white color in the mixture of orange and red. So orange and red was already there, and I am mixing little white and little brown in this, and I will be making few strokes, random strokes for this. In this way it will be easy for us to make the center pollens as we want it to be. So this technique is really very easy. Keep on adding color, and do not see, I have just taken the color, loaded the color and just like this dabbed it on the area, but I am not mixing white entirely with the base color. In this way you will get shades, nice shades you are going to achieve in this way. From inside we can go outside slowly. Keep on changing the color by adding white to it. Give it space to dry also. Now I am taking some more red in this. Randomly at some places I am adding this. Not at every place, but randomly at some places I am adding this color. Adding little white to it now again. And this will help brighten your pollen area. So base, if you do little dark, it becomes easy to brighten the top portion. I am taking little bit of black and randomly some places a few strokes. So adding a depth like this will again give a beauty to your pollen. So according to your own wish, keep on adding white and keep on adding black. And see, it's about to be finished. So it's just like comma. If you will see, my strokes are just very much like inverted commas. You have to wait a bit, don't be in hurry, and don't smudge totally. You don't have to do a lot of blending. It's just in a way kind of strokes. You are putting strokes in form of inverted commas in both the directions. And this portion also seems to be done, but little more depth I want to add near the
this petal so that I can achieve some more finishing over here. See, now this is completely done. Now I will be taking green color. I'm using this beautiful green shade, which is the sap green, and I will be removing orange from my palette as well as brown, and I'm using this green now here for the leaves. Now quickly let us start the leaves also. The first color which I will be using here is this nice sap green, and quickly I will start with putting some strokes. Definitely I need to change my brush, because now I think for me more suitable will be flat brush. So I'm using the flat brush 0 number, and you can see that I will make the leaf with this brush, and this is very easy. See, I'm first starting with the pure color, pure sap green, and slowly I'm going to add shades in it. I'm using lemon yellow now, and will blend this in green. Remember, do not use too much of color in one go. So keep the amount of color which you are using to be very limited. Don't be in hurry and use too much of color. Very less color use at one time. I'm again using the round brush because I think this is too fine and it will be easy for me to paint with round brush. So this is always up to you. You can keep on changing the brush according to your comfort, which is very important. See what is more comfortable to use. So it's not a compulsory thing that I have used 0 number brush, so you also use 0 number brush. Not at all compulsory. You see what you feel confident and comfortable in painting. I'm using a bit of white now. And will slowly blend in green this side. See that the outline is good enough. It should be neat. Little more yellow. And blend it nicely with your green. And in the same way, I am going to paint the other leaves of this kind. Now for these leaves which I have, these round kind of leaves which I have here, I will be adding some red into green color first, so that a bit of shade is changed. So here it goes, little red in green color. I'm taking more of green because I want to create a lot of color in one go, so that I don't need to make it again and again. And you must be seeing that I'm not mixing it nicely, just a very random mix here. and like this I'm going to apply this color here, beautiful shade here, and I will make stem also with the same shade. Little yellow, and inside I have just loaded the color. I have not mixed white into yellow, just loaded the color, and like this little I am adding the center. See how nice, beautiful shade. Again little white I have taken and one stroke kind. Same process, white, yellow, little in this also. Just give it a random blend. Blend should not be very, in a very systematic way. Just a very random blend. Just a little outline I am doing with this. Kind of outline. Again I told you, just very randomly all this I am doing. I am not doing very religiously. Roughly, you can say roughly. Now like this, inside, on the top yellow and white. I have just loaded the brush with yellow and white. I have not mixed yellow and white in any case. It's just loading of yellow and white in this round brush. And same way we are going to fill this and the top area with the same process and same colors. After finishing this entire portion, now I will come up to this small segment of leaves here. For this I am using just the dipping technique. I am using the round brush, very fine one, that is the 0 number, and I am dipping my brush into first the green color which you are seeing on the side, sap green, and then into white color. Just dipping the brush, nothing else, and like this you are going to apply it on the leaf. Simple. Just dip the color sometimes in white first and then green, and some other times you can dip it in green first and then white. So shading will be by its own self. You will not have to struggle very hard for the shading in this way. See how easy and simple it is. Just remember all the times that the color which you take should be very less. Do not overload the brush with color. Every time you take the color, you load the brush with the color, it has to be very less. Do not use too much of color in one go on your brush. And see, this is finish, and let us check how we are going to do the very less bit of finishing. Now for the bit of finishing which I am talking about, I will be using the same colors which I have been taking throughout painting this big flower. I wanted to finishing in the big flower, so the same brilliant purple color I am taking with black color I am taking, and I am going to mix these two. When I am talking about mixing these two, I will take more of brilliant purple and a very less amount of black and a bit of water. So like this, I will take some more purple. See, like this I got a very dark shade which you can see in front of you, and at few places only I am going to add just some strokes, not too much. Extremely few strokes I am going to add. This is going to just give a very beautiful 3D effect to my flower. We don't have to add too much of this dark color. Keep it very, very less, extremely less. At few places, just to enhance the beauty of the petals. It's almost done. I'm just doing it in the corners. If you have noticed the depth area, just trying to create the deepest depth in this way, nothing else. See how simple t-shirt you made so nicely with the help of fabric painting technique. And in case you want to blend some of these, you can just wash your brush, wipe your brush, remove extra water from your brush and just give it a soft edging like this. Even if you don't do this step, then also it's perfectly fine. I'm using bit of white color now for some highlights here and there in the flower. Very less. Already our highlights are really beautiful, so we need not do too much on this part. Just in few places I am adding the highlights. just blend. If you feel that the highlight looks too hard, just blend it a bit. In this way the highlight process is finished. I am again taking this depth color which I have created for the flower, and I am adding it at few places to separate the orange flowers from the main big pink flower. Just the joints. So if you will add little depth in the joints, the places where the two flowers are meeting, these flowers are going to get separated from each other. So the top flower will get that highlight, the dominance which it deserves. Also, I'm adding this in the greens now. The same color which I had created, that is the brilliant purple with black. In the joints, it's going to make your painting really very beautiful. Don't be very generous in doing this. You have to use it in very limited amount. These are depth colors. If you will use it too much, your painting is going to be very dark in shades. So always use these colors in a very limited way. It's going to give 3D effect to your painting. See how nice it looks. Just half this circle I am doing, not the entire, this drop shape. Only half I am kind of rough outline I am doing. Again I will be using some white now. Few drops of white I will put here and there like dots. In this way. Some big dots, some small dots. Again, this will enhance the beauty of your painting. I guess I've missed one petal over here, which I will quickly do like this. See, I just with the help of this light I could make out that one petal is traced here which is not painted. So quickly I can do that also. In no time this work will be done. How easy it is to make your own customized t-shirts. Of course you get a lot of things in the market, but to wear self-made is really special feeling. It's a real special feeling that no one else is wearing what you have designed for yourself. This makes the self-made, special, customized things more valuable than the others. So quickly we have finished this also, and this t-shirt is ready to wear. Little depth color to be added. And this is done.
So finally, my beautiful painting on the t-shirt is complete. Now I can flaunt that this design is only unique, it is only mine, and nobody else will wear this design except me. So this is unique, one of the kind design which I have painted on my t-shirt for me. You can see the beautiful design here. The nice blooming pink flower with the small tiny orange flower and the nice green sprays and leaves which I have added here. And to combine the entire design, I have added this small white fabric color polka dots. Now this will create a beautiful pattern on your t-shirt and enhance the beauty of your t-shirt. I am sure you have liked it and you are definitely going to make one such t-shirts for yourself, for your friends and for your loved ones. I hope you are going to try it very soon, and do let me know when you do it in the comment box. So stay tuned for more creative videos. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe my channel. Stay healthy, stay happy, keep learning always.